right, so today we're talking olive oils plural, because there's not just one type of olive oil, there's a lot of different varieties. So what are we starting with today?
Yeah, so first off we have Barbara Frantoia. They were founded in 1894. They've been around a long, long time. One of the biggest producers out of Sicily. They still hand-pick their olives. It's always how they've done it. There's kind of hand-picking and mechanical harvesting. They've chosen to stay kind of in the traditional means, which I think is pretty cool.
And now for an olive oil tasting, where we use our senses to smell before we sip and avoid looking at the color.
First thing you like to do is cover it up and kind of let the aroma kind of capture in the cup a little bit, and then just take a big deep whiff of it. So you can kind of get the idea of what it might taste like a little bit. And then when you're sipping it, you're just gonna let it spread over your mouth, kind of let it sit for a second, and then you'll swallow it after that.
Okay, well, cheers.
Someone's got a really heavy almond front, kind of bell pepper, with a little bit of spice on the back, but not too much, not as much as some of these other guys will.
A crowd favorite without too much flavor to alter your meal.
So this one's from Anfaso. They are out of Liguria, Italy, which is kind of the northern portion of Italy, bordering right on France.
Gotcha.
They are using Chigesca olives, which grow really, really well in the northern portion of Italy. Southern Italy's a lot drier. This olive likes a very wet climate, which they have.
Types of olives grown in different regions that really affect the flavor too.
Absolutely, absolutely. A good rule of thumb is the wetter the climate, the more kind of mild that olive oil will more than likely be. Whereas like a drier, hotter climate will usually have a lot more spice and punch to it.
So what are we expecting to taste with this one?
So this one is going to be kind of green on the nose. You're going to get like some lettuce, some artichoke. And then on the taste, you're probably going to detect a little bit of like lettuce and celery. And it has a nice kind of, not quite in the same finish as this one, but definitely a peppery finish.
Ooh, it even smells greener. It's almost like fresh veggie. Yeah, totally.
Definitely a little buttery note in there too. It's got a good mouthfeel.
Wow. Okay, man. And then what's next?
Yeah, so next we have Piro. They started up in 2004, so they're the newest producer that we've got out here. They started with 3,000 trees, and now they're up to as many as 13,000.
Wow.
So they've grown a ton in the last few years, and they actually just won a gold award at the New York International Olive Oil Competition for having the highest antioxidants out of any of the olive oils there. Somebody that's looking for good health benefits out of their olive oil, Piro's the way to go.
For those trying to decide between oils on the shelves, there are some important terms to look for.
First cold press just means they were the first olives to go through the mill. And the interesting part of that is us Americans see first cold pressed and think, wow, that's very impressive, but that actually is the very definition of extra virgin within the term extra virgin olive oil. It couldn't be labeled extra virgin olive oil if it wasn't first cold pressed.
There is an olive oil maker from right here in Oregon who puts out an award-winning product.
And it is the only Oregon olive mill. Planted their first olive groves in 2004. They were a family farm. They're just doing like walnuts, hazelnuts, cherries. They decided to jump in on olives as well, and now they're our only olive mill in Oregon.
This one says it's basil.
Basil, yeah. So what they do in particular that's interesting with their fused olive oils is they're actually putting the basil or the jalapenos or the garlic into the press with the olives. So that when they're getting pressed down, those flavors are naturally mixing together.
Okay, well, I already heard it was basil. I'm gonna try not to think about it, right? But smelling it, would you smell basil?
Oh,
yes?
Yeah, it's big time.
Yeah, for sure, right away. That's great. You have that with like pasta with like some cheese in it, and then you've got the like basil.
A little like Thai stir fry would be really good, kind of impart that basil flavor in there.
Yeah, definitely basil, but a really tasty basil.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Absolutely.
You can find all types of varieties and flavors of olive oils at Newport Avenue Market in Bend.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos from Central Oregon Daily News. And for more news from the high desert, just visit centraloregondaily.com.